Listen carefully, the world is changing faster than you think. 50% of the jobs you see around you today are on the edge of disappearing. Not in the next century, not in some faraway future, but in your lifetime, very soon. 50% of today's jobs are on the edge of extinction. That's not a prediction for the distant future. That's a reality forming right now in front of your eyes. Look around you, cashiers being replaced by self-checkout machines, drivers facing the rise of self-driving cars, office assistants losing their place to automated software that can schedule, calculate, and respond faster than any human. The jobs we once thought were safe, stable, and secure are being swallowed by systems that never sleep and never stop. The shift is quiet, but it's massive. Companies are not asking whether they should replace human workers with machines. They're asking how fast they can do it. Because a machine doesn't need health insurance, doesn't ask for a raise, doesn't go on vacation, and doesn't make mistakes the way humans do. From an employer's point of view, it's the perfect employee, and that's the dangerous truth. The very skills people have built their entire lives upon are being outpaced by algorithms and automation. Think about factories. For decades, millions of workers depended on assembly lines to feed their families. Today, robotic arms do the same work faster, with zero breaks and with absolute precision. Think about banks. Thousands of tellers once managed cash and transactions. Now an ATM or mobile app can handle more in a few seconds than a human can in an hour. Even industries like journalism, customer service, and law are being touched by artificial intelligence that can draft reports, answer calls, and analyze documents in ways that reduce the need for large human teams. This is not about machines coming for low-skilled work only. White-collar jobs are being disrupted as well. Software that can review contracts, generate designs, diagnose illnesses, and even write code is already active. The idea that a college degree is a shield against job loss no longer holds true. A robot does not care about your diploma. An algorithm does not care how many years you studied. All it knows is that it can perform your task faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. The truth is, 50% of today's jobs are being replaced not because humans are useless, but because humans are predictable. And when your work becomes predictable, it becomes programmable. The more repetitive, routine, and structured your job is, the more vulnerable you are. The jobs that survive will be those that demand creativity, emotional intelligence, problem-solving, and leadership, traits that machines are still struggling to replicate. But even these areas are under threat as technology continues to evolve. People who think they're safe are the ones most at risk. The reality is brutal. The job market is collapsing for anyone who fails to adapt. The wave of automation doesn't stop, it doesn't slow down, and it doesn't care who you are. The only constant is change, and change is no longer measured in decades. It's measured in years, sometimes even months. Machines don't sleep, don't complain, and don't stop learning. That's the core reason they are replacing human beings at such an unstoppable pace. A worker needs rest. A worker needs weekends. A worker needs food, water, and motivation to keep going. A machine needs none of that. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without getting tired, without making excuses, and without asking for anything in return. From the perspective of a business, why would they choose a human who takes sick days when a machine can keep running non-stop? Machines don't complain, they don't argue about pay cuts, they don't demand better working conditions, and they don't form unions. They don't walk out on strikes, they don't quit jobs because of stress, and they don't worry about office politics. When programmed correctly, they deliver results every single time without resistance, without hesitation. This is why companies love them. A machine doesn't come with emotions, pride, or personal problems. It comes with efficiency. Machines don't stop learning. That's the most dangerous part. Humans learn slowly, one skill at a time, and often forget what they learned. Machines, on the other hand, learn at scale. A single update can upgrade millions of systems worldwide in a single moment. A human doctor may spend 10 years mastering a medical specialty. An AI system can study millions of medical cases overnight and apply that knowledge instantly. A human driver may gain experience over decades, but a self-driving system learns from billions of miles of collective data across all vehicles in the network. One person's mistake becomes every machine's improvement. Humans can't compete with that speed of evolution. This is why jobs are disappearing so fast. A call center agent may need months of training before handling customers smoothly. An AI bot can handle thousands of calls immediately, learning from every conversation and improving its tone, vocabulary, and efficiency in real time. A programmer may take hours to debug a line of code. A machine can test millions of possibilities in seconds until the right solution is found. The more repetitive and data-driven the work is, the faster machines will dominate it. The brutal reality is that machines are not just tools anymore. They are workers. They don't just support human effort, they replace it. Every upgrade makes them faster, cheaper, and more capable. And unlike humans, they don't have limits. Humans hit exhaustion, machines do not. Humans get emotional, machines do not. Humans argue about tasks, machines simply execute them. This lack of weakness is exactly what makes them so powerful in the eyes of corporations. If you think about it, the fight is unfair. Humans are bound by biology, machines are bound by code. Biology slows down, gets old, and eventually breaks. Code gets updated, improved, and shared. The gap between the two is widening every single day. The truth is simple: machines don't stop, humans do. Relying on old skills is the fastest way to become irrelevant. The world is moving at a speed that most people cannot even comprehend. What was valuable 10 years ago has already become outdated, and what you know today might be useless tomorrow. The diploma hanging on the wall, the certificate you worked so hard for, the technical skill you thought would secure your future. All of it can lose value overnight the moment technology finds a faster, cheaper, and more efficient way to do it. Skills that once paid the bills are now being automated, outsourced, or replaced entirely. People who think their education is enough are living in denial. The truth is that knowledge expires. A computer science degree from the year 2000 is worthless if the person never updated their skills for modern programming languages. A marketing degree from the early 2010s doesn't hold much weight when digital algorithms now control how advertising works. Even trades that were once untouchable, plumbing, mechanics, construction, are seeing automation creep in with smart systems, 3D printing, and AI-driven machines. Holding onto the old way of doing things is like clinging to a sinking ship. The danger isn't just losing your job. The danger is not realizing you're becoming irrelevant until it's too late. Companies don't warn people before they replace them. They don't give years of notice before introducing automation. They simply run the numbers, see where efficiency can increase, and make the switch. That means one day you could wake up and find that the skills you've spent decades building no longer matter in the marketplace. And if you haven't been adapting along the way, you're already behind. The most painful part is that people believe experience alone will save them. They think years in the industry give them an edge, but the truth is the opposite. The longer you've depended on one skill without updating it, the more at risk you are. The world doesn't reward loyalty to old systems. It rewards adaptability to new ones. A fresh graduate who has mastered AI tools will be more valuable than a veteran who refuses to learn them. That's the cold, hard truth of the modern economy. Irrelevance doesn't arrive in an instant, it creeps up slowly. First, you notice fewer opportunities in your field. Then, you see salaries dropping. After that, you hear about layoffs. Eventually, you realize that entire departments have vanished. By the time most people accept what's happening, they're already left behind. The jobs don't come back, and the world doesn't pause to let them catch up. The only way to survive is to evolve constantly. The skills you relied on yesterday won't guarantee tomorrow. If you keep leaning on what you already know, you're digging your own grave in the job market. Relevance is temporary, and the clock is always ticking. The future belongs to those who adapt, create, and innovate. Survival is no longer about who has the most experience, the most years on the job, or the most impressive degree. Survival is about agility, the ability to change direction when the world shifts under your feet, the ability to let go of old habits and learn new ones at lightning speed. The people who thrive in the future are not the ones who cling to the past, they are the ones who build what comes next. Adaptation means refusing to stay still when everything else is moving. Technology is rewriting the rules of every industry, and those who adapt quickly are the ones who rise. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most flexible. When a new tool arrives, do you resist it or do you master it? When the market shifts, do you complain about it or do you adjust to it? Adaptation is not optional anymore, it's survival. Creation is the second pillar. Machines are powerful, but they lack originality. They can analyze, they can repeat, they can process, but they cannot dream. Humans who learn to create new businesses, new ideas, new solutions, will always stay ahead. Creation means spotting opportunities where others see problems. It means building systems instead of waiting for someone else to hire you. The future will not reward employees who do only what they're told. It will reward individuals who bring something new to the table, something machines cannot replicate. Innovation ties it all together. Innovation is not about inventing something no one has ever seen before. It's about taking what exists and making it better, faster, or smarter. The people who innovate are the ones who rise to the top of every wave of change. They don't just use technology, they bend it, twist it, and reimagine it for new purposes. They see patterns no one else sees, and they move before the crowd realizes what's happening. The future has no mercy for those who stand still, but it has limitless rewards for those who move first. Look around. Every industry that exists today is being disrupted. Transportation, healthcare, finance, education, entertainment. All of them are being reshaped by technology. The people who adapt, create, and innovate inside these industries will dominate them. The people who resist will fade away quietly, replaced by someone hungrier, faster, and more willing to change. The future doesn't care about tradition, it doesn't care about your comfort zone, it doesn't care about how long you've been doing something. The future only cares about progress. Those who wait for the world to slow down will be crushed by its speed. Those who keep trying to fight change will lose to those who embrace it. Those who only consume will be overtaken by those who create. The future doesn't belong to the strongest, the richest, or the most educated. The future belongs to the adaptable, the creators, the innovators. If you want to survive, make yourself impossible to replace. That is the only real protection in a world where half of the jobs are collapsing under the weight of machines and automation. The question is not whether your job is safe today, the question is how safe it will be tomorrow. The brutal truth is that no career is untouchable anymore. Every single profession, from factory work to office jobs, from retail to healthcare, is being examined under the same cold calculation. Can a machine do this faster, cheaper, and more reliably than a human? If the answer is yes, the clock is already ticking. To survive, you cannot just be good at what you do. You have to be extraordinary. Being average is no longer enough. Machines are already average, and they are becoming better than average with every update. If all you bring to the table is efficiency, then you are replaceable. If all you offer is repetition, then you are replaceable. If all you have is a set of instructions you follow every day, then you are replaceable. People who will last are the ones who build skills that cannot be copied, skills that go beyond repetition and enter the territory of human brilliance. Being impossible to replace means mastering the traits machines struggle with. Creativity, vision, leadership, emotional intelligence, the ability to inspire, the ability to solve problems in ways that no algorithm can calculate. Machines don't dream, they don't lead, they don't feel. They cannot understand human fears, human ambitions, or human pain. They cannot sit in a room and spark ideas that move a generation. They cannot build trust in the way a real leader can. That is your advantage, but only if you sharpen it. Most people never push themselves beyond comfort. They stay in the safety of routines, thinking their job title will protect them, but job titles are meaningless when industries vanish. Survival is no longer about what position you hold. It's about what value you bring that no one else, and nothing else, can replicate. If a company sees you as just another worker, you're vulnerable. If they see you as someone who drives growth, creates solutions, and cannot easily be replaced, you become essential. Making yourself irreplaceable means refusing to stand still. It means constantly learning, constantly evolving, constantly adding new layers to your skill set. It means refusing to let your knowledge grow old while the world moves forward. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone and building a version of yourself that is bigger than any single job description. Because the truth is, jobs disappear, but value does not. The world will always reward those who bring unique value, who think differently, who see what others miss. In a future where machines dominate, the only safe place is beyond comparison. You must rise to a level where no one can look at you and say, "A machine can do that." You must become too valuable to ignore, too unique to replace, too essential to eliminate.